Okay, video number 31. I wasn't sure whether I was going to do this in a blog or just write some notes and do a video. Cults. It's all about control. And this also applies outside of cults as well. You know, the control of people, the concept of master and slave, you know. I've put here, never having enough money to be free from the rat race is the reality for most people, 99% of people. Inequality. Why does a trillionaire even exist? You know, in this world where there's so much inequality and injustice. It really is bonkers. It is completely bonkers the way the world is. But I want to talk about cults and control, and then you can see that control is everywhere. Greed, money, you know, you need a passport to go somewhere else on planet Earth. Who decided that? Anyway, let's talk about cult control. Brainwashing. You can read books, Robert J. Lifton, Thought Reform in Communist China. Stephen Hassan talks about combating cult mind control. Rick Allen Ross, he's got a book, Cults Inside and Out. There's a lot of experts that know how these cults manipulate people. And one of the tragedies is not getting educated about how people manipulate you. If I'd known about cults, I hopefully wouldn't have ended up in a cult. I don't know. Maybe it was fate. I don't know. But yeah, that fateful day. I've started the blog and I've put in my story in there, but nobody warned me about cults. So, you know, nobody warned me about scammers. You know, these sort of trading gurus that con you. But anyway, trying to stick to cults, there's not enough education about cults because every day the cults are recruiting people. You know, they're out there at universities or shopping centres or on the street or through a friend or whatever. And the next generation is getting brainwashed the same way I was brainwashed 31 years ago when I was in my 20s, fresh out of uni, down the shopping centre one day, a brainwashing cult, you know, got me. That's one of the reasons I do these videos, to warn people and to educate people that just because somebody's friendly and they pretend to be a Christian or a nice Muslim or whatever, you don't know that they're brainwashed and they're controlled. You know, they're controlled in so many ways. The concept of a deity, a God. It's funny how God is also the judge, isn't it? But the judge of whether you go to heaven or hell, you know, and if you're not part of their group or their religion, then you're going to go to hell. Where's the proof of hell? There is none. Where's the proof of heaven? There is none. Where's the proof of God or the devil or whatever? You know, when you really think about it, they have no proof of what they believe in. And yet I remember believing it so sincerely and so genuinely that you're controlled by your belief. And it's not like, you know, brainwashing is, there's different types. There's mind control, brainwashing, thought reform. It's all indoctrination. It's words. It's sermons. It's conferences. It's going to a meeting for a couple of hours to maybe meet some new people, make some friends, and you're just getting brainwashed. The same applies to multi-level marketing. I got scammed by a multi-level marketing group. I didn't lose as much as I lost to the cult, but there are so many people out there the controllers. We could call them that, couldn't we? Who are happy to con you, scam you, brainwash you, exploit you, use you, so they can live in luxury and you're their slave, effectively. Bastards. Bastards. And what's worse, you don't see it. You don't see it because it's normal. You know, it's the way the world is. Or if you were brought up in a cult, it's the way the cult is. You know, and you don't question it. You know, I think people should question, why are there borders? Why is there money? You know, why do we need governments at all? You know, they do more trouble than good, a lot of them. But in a cult, it's even more intense. And what's worse is when people in the corporate world or the political world use the same techniques that are used in cults. Fascists pretending to be socialists, you know, and really they're extremist communists where they want to be the people telling everybody else what to do. Yeah, it is so evil. It is so evil. Is it human nature? Well, I guess if you can get somebody else to do what you want done and you don't have to pay them and they think they're going to go to heaven, yeah, it's a very devious thing that these cults do. I wasted 20 years, as I've mentioned several times, giving money to a cult, you know, trying to recruit for a cult. I wasn't a salesman, so useless at that. But yeah, just feeling guilty. Oh, I haven't saved anybody, I haven't saved anybody's soul. And in the cult I was a part of, ICOC in the Kit McKean days, unless you recruited somebody, you weren't saved. So you were going to go to hell because you couldn't recruit somebody. You know, you hadn't proven yourself in making disciples, those sick and twisted psychopaths. And he's still going. He's still going. All he knows is how to con people from behind the pulpit with his brainwashing. So the concept of God is definitely something as an aspect of control. An invisible man that watches you all the time, watches you have a wank, as if he's not got anything better to do. Sounds like a pervert to me, doesn't it? But yeah, this invisible man in the sky. And whether it's a religious God or whether it's aliens, they all seem very voyeuristic, don't they? And now we have to consider how technology is also spying on people. Is my little webcam that I'm talking to, is there some pervert in Silicon Valley watching me naked? But you can't see. Why would you? Because I'm just talking. But anyway, yeah, I'm not going to show my nakedness on camera. It's so bloody hot in the UK at the moment, I tell you. I'll be glad when it gets cooler again. But anyway, the madness aside, cult control. They control where you live. Oh, it would be so much better for you, bro, if you move in with the other disciples. You know, then you won't have the devil that is your friends or family going after you. They control where you live, what you do, and who or if you marry. That was one of the sickest things with the cult that I was a part of. And it's the same with Jehovah's Witnesses, Mormons, whatever. Somebody else decides who you marry. Like, what the fuck? I thought you married for love. I thought love had something to do with marriage. And they tell you, oh, don't worry, you'll learn to love that person. You know, I mean, it's so sick and twisted. But cult members have no kind of life at all. They are just controlled all the time. And what they do with the brainwashing, they get you to control yourself through guilt or feel, oh, I haven't done enough. And you'll never do enough in a cult. These sick and twisted bastards that run cults. But you're the slave and the religion is the master. Why would you believe in something if you can't prove it to be real? Because you want it to be real. Or you're frightened it might be true. Oh, I don't want to go to the fire. You know, And there's no proof of either. No proof of paradise or hell. That is the most bizarre thing. Another aspect of control. Where does the money go? Well, these are God's leaders. You can trust them. If you don't trust God's leaders, you can leave the group. Control and unaccountability. They try and control people in every way possible. In every way possible. Every way conceivable. They try and control and manipulate people and tell people that it's for their own good, or it's what they really want, or what God wants. The deeper you dig, the darker and more psychopathic you see control freaks for what they are. They are pure evil. They are disgusting. You can see the logic behind it. You know, they want you to do what they want done, and they don't want to pay you. And if they do pay you, you'll never... I mean, like these Scientologists and these other cults that work for pittance. They work for pittance because they'll never be able to afford to walk away from the cult. You know, they're making millions for the cult and they're getting paid a few dollars a day. You know, less than any kind of minimum wage. Cults are sick and evil and control freaks. And if it was up to me, I'd get rid of a lot of them. You know. Don't question the man of God or the preacher, or you're not trusting God. They've got these clever little phrases they do. I remember in the London ICC, they always started with a superficial prayer. Oh, God, speak through me. But they've already decided what they're going to say, and it's always the cult agenda. Cheap rant, you know, and they just invent ways of trapping people into the cult. Oh, we're having karaoke night. That'll be fun. What if you don't like karaoke? You know. As I said, it is all about control. In every way conceivable. Every way conceivable. You know, it I don't know what more to say really. It is all about control, and they control people any way they can. And if somebody leaves the group, they're the devil. Don't talk to them, you know, kind of thing. They are the masters, you are the slave. And even that terminology is used in the Bible. Nobody should be a slave and nobody should be a master. You know, only a master of evil, to quote from Star Wars. And this has been going on for thousands of years. People figuring out how to control and scam people and get away with it. Money, borders, work. It's all control. And the amazing thing is, it is just words. You know, I mean, think of Trump. What does he do? He threatens to wipe out a whole nation. You know, and all he's doing is using words. You know, words to intimidate people. I mean, the power of words. Madonna sung a song about words. Yeah, very powerful song, the lyrics. But it's thought reform, it's indoctrination, it's brainwashing, it's words, it's lies, it's deception. You do the work, they get paid. Pay your tithe and bring a visitor. What the fuck's that about? They should be paying you to bring somebody along, but you wouldn't want to bring somebody along if you knew what it was really about. They keep them under the cult spell. Yeah, it's like retirement in the world. You can retire when you're knackered. You know, I mean, in the UK, they put up retirement age so they don't have to give you as much money. You know, they knacker you, give you a bit of pittance, and then just expect you to roll over and die. Greedy bastards. It is what it is. It's very annoying as well. I don't like this topic, but you have to see the world for what it is. Evil and control. Where's the love?